Decentraland, is it the right time to buy? It is exploding. Search term, it is one of the most searched cryptocurrencies right now. Its own metaverse, virtual reality. It is big, but it's now the right time to buy. You may be feeling like it is, but knowing when not to buy is as important as knowing when to buy. So today, we're going to look at some of the fundamentals, but mainly the technicals, the psychology of buying and selling, and what's likely with high probability, because we do probabilities, never certainties, what's highly likely to occur with the price action over the coming weeks and months, and when will be the next time to maximize your potential with Decentraland. So if you like today's video, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. If you don't know me by now, my name is Jiggy. I'm the award-winning author of The Extraordinary New Venture Capital Opportunity, How to Invest Like a Pro. Been featured in the best-selling book, High Probability Trading Strategies, back in 2008. Normally trading currencies, but now exclusively focused on crypto. I love crypto. So let's dive straight in. Decentraland. Wow, their website is incredible. Incredible. This is just their homepage. Look at the graphics. Unreal. Kasha says this. It's unreal. Oh man, look at this. It's beautiful. Now, Decentraland is a very mature project. And we're going to look at the technicals, right? Mainly going to focus on the technicals. But you can see the quality of this project is on a next level. Next level. Is a top 40, top 50 cryptocurrency. But it is a powerhouse project. But is now the right time to buy from a returns perspective. Remember, we only do probabilities, never certainties, but we always want to have the probabilities in our favor. So let's jump into CoinMarketCap. So Decentraland, it's currently $3.60 per token. What really matters is the market cap. The market cap is, if I just zoom in here, let's just zoom in so we can see it. The market cap is, it's this one here on the left. It is $6 billion market cap on the left. Actually, I'm going to zoom out a bit just to keep the view like this. $6 billion market cap. The price has just shot up. We're going to look at the price action, but it's near its all-time high, right? But we want to look at Decentraland. Where is it ranked? It's currently number 36 in terms of market cap out of all cryptocurrencies. So it's a big project. So let's dive into a live chart. So I do a lot of technicals. If you don't know me by now, it's the Elliott wave and Fibonacci's that we use to really read the psychology of the market. And the market moves in cycles and trends, right? There's buying and selling behavior. And we want to make sure we're buying at the most optimal time. So let's look at this, right? What does this look like to you? Right? To me, this looks like, because look, what I like to do, right? I'm going to move this chart to the right, right? I like to buy way before the market takes off. So when the market look like this, it's hard to tell what's happening, right? It looks like there's large movements happening, but these times the market cap was very low. So the data here was 10th of July, right? 10th of July, 2020. And even in January of this year, the price was around 0.08. So let's jump into CoinMarketCap, right? Well, I want to show you this because its timing is so important, right? And sometimes it's weeks and months, and it could be the difference between a 3x and a 300x, right? That is so important. So we just rewind the clocks back and we go down to here, right? Maybe just here, right here. This was, when was this? Let's go. This was just a few months ago. Even if we go a bit further back, I want to go to here. Let's keep going back. Go back. What's the market cap over here? Oh, if I do it this way. Here, this is what I want to see. The market cap, just in July? In July was 55 million. 55 million market cap. So it's done like 100x. 100x. Is that right? 100x. That's a big deal. So what I look at is I want to be in the market. I want to be in the position before it takes off, before this rocket shoots, right? Before this part. We want to be on the train, ideally down here, and literally be ready for takeoff, right? So what I'm going to show you today is the time of not to buy. Because right now, even though it's probably going to go higher, likelihood is we've got, from an Elliott wave standpoint, we've got this nice wave 1. It's not a textbook wave 2, but we've got this wave 2. right? And when you see a wave 1 and wave 2, what tends to follow is a wave 3, right? So I'm just going to draw this out like this. Wave 1, let's just see if we can draw this out. Bum, bum. I'll keep it short and sweet today because there's just a main lesson I want to cover. 2, because there's a lot of hype around this now, right? But the reality of the situation is this. If you did manage to buy even down here, right? And this looks like life-changing money, right? This over here looks like life-changing returns because it looks so steep. But the reality is here is around $1, roughly around here's $1, and up here is what, $3.50? That's a 3.5x, right? So you got to take it with a pinch of salt. This is not, I mean, it's when guys are playing with big money that you want to be in something like Decentraland. So it's only a 300-400% return. I say only because when you're in low caps, if you got down here, then all of a sudden it's like a 10,000% return. And we want to take that into consideration. But what I want to really cover today is where are we when it comes to the psychology of this particular price action. Let's just forget it's Decentraland. Let's just forget for a second it's a powerhouse project, just pure, because most of the market is speculation still, right? Or all markets, it's the same. So we're going to just measure this wave projected from down here, and a typical wave 3, right? A typical wave 3 is 1.618, and a typical maximum is 2.618. I just want to make sure I got that right. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah. And what we can see here is these two ranges. And we're in that range now. We're in that range. But then what we can look at is this, because most people will miss this. This looks like a nice wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, and what looks like to be forming a wave 5. A wave 5 of a wave 3, right? If that is the case, we can project with high probability where the likely high is going to be, and why I believe it's the wrong time to buy Decentraland. The right time was literally 7 days ago, right? 7 days ago, because you want to be on the train. The real right time would have been months ago, right? Before the wave 1 really, really took off, but then wave 3. So just to make sure I'm clear, we're on the same page, down here, this is the area that we want to be buying, right? And then to hold, and we don't know when it's going to take off, but when it does, we want to be in and on the train for this ride up, right? So what I'm going to finish on today is just do some price targets. So we've shot past this wave 3. So it looks like it's going to be an overextended wave 3 to the 2.618. And what we're going to look for is a cluster, a Fibonacci price cluster. If you haven't already, take my Fibonacci and Elliott Wave masterclass. It's free. I've worked incredibly hard to simplify a lot of this stuff, but it lets you read the markets and lets you see things that most people cannot see because it's not obvious and it's not intuitive, right? So I'm just going to get rid of those. Let's just zoom in over here like this. I covered some of these. I got more in-depth courses as well, which just goes into this step by step. But we can see that this high looks like it's going to get exceeded. So that confirms this wave 4 low. Yep. So what we can do is, let me just get rid of this and this. What we can do is we measure the beginning of wave 1 of wave 3, measure it to the wave 3 of wave 3. I know. I cover this in the course and the masterclass. It will make more sense when you do the masterclass. And then click on this. And the two numbers that we want is the 62 to 100% of that measurement. And what we are looking for is if we get a cluster. Oh my God, look at this. Look at a cluster, right? I didn't even do this one in advance. Like, look at this. So you'll see, you can't even see the numbers that well, but you see there's a overlapping on this wave. This makes this, from a psychological buying behavior, mass herd psychology, a really strong resistance zone. There's a few other factors we want to take into account. There's something called an external retracement we want to do, which is more of a confirming measurement of a wave 5. And a typical wave 5 high is a wave 5 of a wave 3. Again, if Elliott Wave is totally new to you, take my free Elliott Wave and Fibonacci masterclass. You can even pause the video, take the masterclass, and come back to this video because it'll make much more sense. And this is the typical zone, and you can see this here is another cluster. This tells us there's high probability. There's something else we can also do, which is a bit more high level, but we'll do it. Which is because we're looking at multiple wave counts. We can do an external retracement for a wave 3 high, which is in this zone. Yeah, this zone over here. It's a bit more broad, but we just got this really broad range. It's not that broad actually. This is the real focus, but we know this is the zone, but this is the real zone. This is going to be a very high probability top, and there's a round number as well. There's a few other factors we can take into account, but the main thing is it's a wave 3. Looks like a wave 3 overextended. Measure wave 1, 2. This is a wave 3 extend, like a maximum, typical maximum. And when there's this much volume, it tends to ride. And then if you measure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is typical wave 5 of a wave 3 high. There's 2 confirming indicators that says, look, Decentraland is probably going to go up. What's that? 25%? 25% in the next few days, a couple of weeks. So, but we want more information. So we want to look at now the weekly chart. I'm going to jump over to the weekly chart. The weekly chart, the main thing I want to focus on here is the stochastics RSI. This is a momentum indicator, and it just tells us what's the momentum happening. And you can clearly see that the blue line and the red line are both pointing up, which says the momentum is up. But this blue line is now above this. It's called the overbought zone. That means the upside should be limited. The upside should be limited for 1 to 2 more weeks. 1 to 2 more weeks, probably 1 week, looking at the pattern and the price. So we know on the next bearish reversal, we should go into a wave 4 correction. Likely. Remember, we're doing probabilities, never certainties. Timing is everything, and we want to use all of the information all of the time. And then lastly, let's go back into a daily chart, and let's just get the stochastics RSI. It's more than likely, let's just have a look at this. I'm going to move to a slightly slower. Yeah, here we go. This one is a bit smoother for us to see. Yeah, so what we're probably going to see is that the daily momentum, 3 to 5 days sideways to up, we're probably going to get, let me just make sure you can see this. This is the momentum. We're probably going to get a bearish reversal in around 3 to 5 days, and it will probably hit the price target of $4.50. On this reversal, it will probably be the wave 5 of wave 3, right? Want to make that distinction. Wave 5 of wave 3. So then when that happens, what tends to occur next? And again, it's probabilities. I don't have a crystal ball. I know many of you think I do, because we're pegging in a lot of these, but it's just probabilities. Anything can happen. I mean, even this movement here, this is like, wow, the amount of volume needed to drive that movement is, what was the volume? Let's have a look, actually. Let's have a look. What was the volume? Let's have a look. On back on CoinMarketCap, the volume went from 150 million to 4.6 billion to 7 billion. Wow, went from like nearly 10 billion. Went from like a few hundred million or even tens of millions to billions in volume. That's the amount of energy, buying pressure needed to drive the price this much. So let's just conclude so we're on the same page. We're anticipating this should be a high resistance zone here. And then similar to this correction, this wave 2 correction, we should anticipate a wave 4 correction. A wave 4 correction, this is why I'm saying it's probably not the best time to buy, just from a pure returns perspective. Forget is the powerhouse Decentraland. Decentraland, like, wow, look at it. Look at the graphics. Like, it is seriously unreal. This is like, just look at this. And these guys have been working. They've been around for a while. And I've been watching these guys. But it's a very mature project now. And the money's been made. The big money's been made. So it's now a big boy project. People that are investing tens and hundreds of thousands and millions and billions, this can support that kind of liquidity and that kind of volume. Whereas we want to get into projects that are going to become the future Decentraland. We want to be on launch pads and be getting in down here, and be patient for then this move. Take some good profits, be patient, and then for this move, and then be exiting at the top of a wave 5 of a wave 3. This is what I'm looking for. Exit at the top of a wave 5 of a wave 3, not to be buying next to a top of a wave 5 of a wave 3. I know it's a bit of a mouthful, but it is what it is, right? So now, what should we anticipate next? Guys, if you haven't taken my free Elliott Wave and Fibonacci masterclass, I don't know what you're waiting for, because you'll see this is so like textbook. This is like, perfect. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's just very highly probable. So what's likely to occur next? Let's get rid of this. This is no value to us. This is not, well, it's not a typical ABC correction, but we can do 2 things. One is, let's do price first. A typical wave 4 correction, if we measure, I'm going to do it from here. on the right hand side so you can see it clearly. Let's just assume it's going to hit this $4.50. And a typical correction for a wave 4 minimum is 38.2% and 50%. Also, to note, is it's really common for a wave 4 correction to correct into the range of the previous wave 4. Go, Jiggy, what did you just say there? All right, well, this is the previous wave 4 here. Wave 4 range. Obviously, it's the top of a wave 3 of a wave 3, but the beginning of a wave 4, right? So this is the range, right? So it should go back into this range, but more the typical maximum should be down here. So we should anticipate this kind of range as a maximum, and we should know, if you take my Elliott and Fibonacci free masterclass, that a wave 4 should not trade into the range of a wave 1, right? What does that mean? What that means is this should not get exceeded down here, right? So it should probably go down to sideways to down to around $2.80 to around $2.45, thereabouts, right? Thereabouts. How long does it normally take? Well, we don't know for certain, but what we do know, I'm just want to look at this correction here, this wave 2 correction. Because when wave 2s are very simple, like a nice A, B, C zigzag, then wave 4s tend to be complex and vice versa. And this is relatively simple, even though the price action is not as clean as I would normally like, but it's relatively simple. So we wouldn't be overly surprised if this range, this time it's taken to do this, it will be slightly longer. But we can kind of get a reference on price and time, and we can move this over here and say, right, it fits into the range. So we wouldn't be overly surprised if by this date, maybe by this time here, we can go roughly here. It should complete. And if we do a box for the price, we can say probably down here. So we can anticipate with, by the mid to late December, we should have a completion on Decentraland's wave 4. Wave 4. Now, I'm totally forecasting here, but you'll often find that these play out. These play out quite nicely, especially when there's large volume like this. And then a lot of people like trading a wave 4 for a wave 5. And then what tends to occur, more often than not, again, probabilities, never certainties. Do your own research, you know the cue. Let's get rid of this. This is it's not a highly probable zone here. We should then anticipate afterwards a wave 5, right? So if you wanted to buy Decentraland, it's a patience game. If from a speculation standpoint, you're not looking to play the game, just want to get returns, down here, if it does this, would be a better point. But then you can see it'll be from $2.50, to around $5, $6, $7, give or take. So 2-3x. So even though the price movements look big, in reality, they're not big, right? And I wanted to give you a comparison, right? If we just go back to this movement down here, right? This is actually, from a price perspective, here to here, is actually less of a movement because people don't get this. This I find difficult when people don't see it. Versus from here to here, right? We can see, like even if it gets to this high over here, when I say it might even get to here, you can see that the second arrow is bigger than the first arrow, right? We can see that, right, clearly. Right, let me just go back to here. But what most people don't understand, and I want you to understand this because it's important, it's just pure numbers, pure logic. You can tell the second arrow is bigger than the first arrow, right? But the returns of the first arrow is bigger than the second arrow. You go, to get what you're going on about. All right, well, let's do the math. Let me just quickly do the math for you, right? What we're looking at here is the price down here is 0.022, and it goes as high as $1.55, right? $1.55, 1.55 divided by 0.22. Did I say 0.022? 0.022 is 70x. Yeah, 70x means 7,000%. In other words, if you invested $1,000 times 70 is $70,000. Going from down here to up here. Yeah, that makes sense. Hopefully, right? But now let's just do a comparison because people miss this. If you're playing with big money, then you need to go into things that have more volume. But if you're playing with like less than 100 grand, 10 grand, 50 grand, you know, whatever it is, a few $100s, there's no point. You're not going to get life-changing money getting into project late. So now let's just do the math on this part here. Let me get rid of this. This is important because I just find everyone misses this. It's because it's not intuitive, right? And everything is difficult before it's easy. So now let's just look at the second arrow, because logic would state that the second arrow being bigger than the first arrow, well, you should make more money if the arrow is bigger, right? Like literally, if I look at this, I go, who made the most money? The person that rode this wave and the person that rode this wave, just by buying the underlying tokens, no leverage. Well, I would say, well, the second arrow, because it's bigger. If it's bigger, it should be more money, right? Well, let's do the math. Let's go, okay, what's the numbers? The numbers don't lie, right? If you don't know this, I got a degree in mathematics. I used to be a math teacher back in the day. But this is simple. This is not degree level math. This is just, okay, the price down here is 56 cents. Yeah, 56, give or take. And today's price right now at this peak is $3.60, right? So what do? We go $3.60, $3.60, let's do 66, divided by 0.5, did I say 0.56? Let's say 0.5 is 7x, right? That's good money though. I mean, don't get me wrong, 7x times 100, that's 700%. So that means if you invested $1,000 in the second part of the movement, this second arrow, times 7 is 7,000, right? And that's good money, right? It's a bit safer because the project is much more mature. You know, its mainnet would have gone live. You know, you can see the quality of the website, the project. You can play the game and you can do all these other things. But from a pure speculation, investment, return on your money to increase your financial health, down here is a better buy, right? Down here is a better buy, and to ride here. And even if we do the timing, right? If we do the timing, how long did it take? Well, if you manage to get in, let's just say here. I know it's sometimes hard to time. Well, I say it's hard to time. If you know what you're doing, it's not that hard to time. Here to here, what's the time period? Well, we look at the date. If I can get rid of this here. The date is roughly January to May. So that 5 months? And then down here is roughly July till November, 5 months. So both are roughly the same in terms of time, right? Both 5 months, but one of them you make 70 times your money, and the second one you make 7 times your money, right? Ideally, you want to ride both. You know, the ideal would be, right? And this is what I look to do, right? This is why I love IDOs. IDOs are great. They have pros and cons. If you buy down here, take some profits, take some risk-free profits, take some exit 2 profits. I'm often happy riding a wave 2. I don't like it doing this deep. That's a very deep wave 2. It's around 62%. Maybe, should we see what it is? Let's see how deep that is. Because it looks like it's not comfortable, right? If you give that much money back to the market. It's even, it's around 62 to 78.6% retracement. If that's not English to you, take my free Elliott and Fibonacci masterclass. And it just shows you that most wave 2 corrections are in this price range. You can see it's right near that 78.6%. But if you're patient for your third and fourth and fifth exit, or if your third exit depends on your plan, here you can just go, because the ultimate, we didn't do this math, is if you bought down here and then exited at wave 5 over wave 3. Oh, now we're talking different money. Now we're talking different level down here. So if we go back again, okay, let's just say 0.0, we'll be a bit more conservative. Let's say it was, let's say you got in a bit late, just before the move, around 10 cents to $3.50. Well, you can do the math, but I'll do the math for you. I know what the math is. I'm just going to do it this way. $3.50 divided by 0.1, which is 10 cents. It's 35. That's not right. 35x. No, sorry, times 100. Hang on, did I get that right? Let me just do that again. Oh, it's because I did 0.022 before. Let's stick with the same numbers. I was thinking, how can it be that different? Let's stick with 0.22, which is what we used before as a reference. Divided by 0.22, so 2 cents, is 159x, right? 159x. So what that means is here to here was 70x, and here to here was 159x, right? And that's why hodling through strong projects. We want strong projects with strong utility that got a strong roadmap that are going to be riding the waves over here. So there you have it. Anything else I want to cover? No, but let's just summarize. because I covered a lot today. Hopefully it's making sense, and I'm not talking too much jargon, because sometimes with technicals it can be a bit jargony, but I try and keep it practical, right? What I want to just make sure it's clear. We're likely high probability over the next 3 to 4 days hit a price zone of around $4.50. Yeah, I think that's going to occur. We can go to a lower time frame and even nail it a bit more if we wish to do so. But then we should anticipate a wave 4 correction. Minimum time is towards the end of December, and our comparison is this wave 2, right? This wave 2. So don't be overly surprised. And then towards the end, the latter part of the bull run, maybe the last 10% of the bull run, whether it's December, January, February, March, we should expect a price explosion for a wave 5. And often wave 5s are similar to wave 1s. But in crypto land, because of FOMO, because of panic buying, wave 5s tend to be overextended. And quite frequently, they extend beyond even the wave 3 themselves. So I wouldn't be overly surprised if it kind of does this. And then towards the latter part of the market, if we go into a deep correction, to do this. There you have it. Decentraland is now the right time to buy. Hey, my opinion is no. The upside potential in the immediate 1, 2, 3 weeks is limited. There's much better opportunities. No, from the project perspective, it is undoubtedly just phenomenal. But most people are buying based on speculation, not to play the game. Let's call a spade. So now is not the right time to buy, as far as I'm concerned. Anything can happen. We do probabilities, never certainty. So do your own research, make your own decisions, take full responsibility. So there you have it. Today we used technicals mainly, 99% technicals, pure psychology of the markets. When you see such an impulsive wave 3, profit-taking wave occurs next, more often than not, which is a wave 4. It's natural, it's healthy, nothing to do with the project. It's just people have made a lot of profit and they want to put some of that profit into their pocket. If you were part of that wave 3 and you were at the beginning of the wave 3, at the beginning of wave 1, you should be taking profits, right? So just think about that psychology. Man, things have gone up by 10 times, 20 times, 50 times. So for some people, 150 times. For some people that got in even earlier, there might be 1,000x up. 100, I think that's like 100,000%. And that's the whole benefit of hodling long term. But when you're at that level of profit, it's natural to take some profits, which means it will create some selling pressure. Normally it's 38.2 to 50% of the wave 3 itself. I covered that in my free Elliott and Fibonacci masterclass. Just take it. It's free. You get the opportunity to buy my courses, which are on a massive discount right now. And then you'll get invited to my private Telegram group. It's growing like crazy, but we give premier access to this kind of content. So like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Let's finish on a quote. I try and keep these videos short, but I just get into a vibe. And I used to be a teacher, so I get into teacher mode. And then I just can't help myself. So, all right, this one's important. So you've heard it before, but have you really heard it? Because sometimes you have to hear things 7 times before you hear it the first time. I got that quote a little while ago, and I'm finding it to be very true. Hence, I thought repetition being the mother of all skill, let's keep just repeating the real quotes that are going to be very, very powerful. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget. Rule number 1, Warren Buffett, bang. Timing is everything. Well, timing is like a big part of the game. You can buy the best project on the planet in terms of metaverse and VR and blockchain. Decentraland is probably the best project. Hence it's top 40 coin now, 7 billion market cap. But you can buy that best project in that space at the wrong time and lose money. Or you can buy an average project at the right time and make a killing. But what we really want is to buy the right project at the right time. Have a plan. Exit 1, 2, 3. Exit 1 is all about risk-free. If you haven't got that concept into your mind, you are missing out. Risk-free meaning you invest 10 grand, it does a 10x, you exit 10%, 10 grand goes back into your pocket, you still got 90,000 in the project. It could be a 3x, 5x, 10x. If it's IDO, it could be 100x. Main thing is that you have a plan, and exit 1 should be risk-free. Just increases your probability of having a great night's sleep, goes through the roof. Not looking at the price action goes up, as in not looking, having the discipline. So exit 1, and then exit 2 is your first profit. There you can be a bit more aggressive. Exit 3 is like much more aggressive. And then you can decide if you want to have an exit 4 or 5 or just have a 3 exit strategy. But the main thing is you have a strategy and a plan and execute that plan. All right. Those of you who are going to be on my webinar, I do webinars on Saturdays. We do training workshops for the community. I'll see you in the next 50 minutes. 50 minutes, I got to go plan for it. I got some good stuff to cover. But you guys on YouTube, have fun. Enjoy your weekend. Keep training. Never lose money. Never forget. Never lose money. Timing is everything. We don't want to be buying at a wave 5 or a wave 3. We want to be buying either at the beginning of a wave 1 before that takes off, or at the end of a wave 2 before a wave 3. They're the two best buying times. Low risk, high upside. See you soon.